Bonsoir tout le monde. Welcome back to Tom Plays Europa Universalis 4 for absolute beginners. We are back with France and hopefully gearing up to attack Great Britain again. Now, what would be very useful... Ooh. Okay. Don't need the legitimacy, but you know, happy to have the extra admin power. What would be very useful is if our claims could expire. But apparently they're not going to. Okay. Actually, it looks like Great Britain's having a really bad time, so half tempted to just get started. Okay, right, a couple of things we do need to do. First, let's just check over here. We definitely need to pull this army out, for which ideally we need to have... should be able to move there without dying. We want to have this colony finished. So that gives us a little bit of time, but we definitely need to wait for. So that's something. Spy network's 50, so that's good, because if we get caught, it will probably only go down to 50. So we can probably afford to leave it for a little longer. Okay, who is going to rise up? Probably the Beninese separatists first. I'm not too worried about these, as I said before. Currently building a manufactory. Right, fine. We're good. We're all good. What about our army size? We have room for a much bigger army and a much bigger navy. Okay. Alright, let's just work on our armies a little. And we've been caught. Right. Okay, that was bound to happen, so we're going to start making claims again. Going to head in from the south, and apparently that's the only claim we could make. Right, fine, it's not great, but we're just going to have to lump it. Okay, what have we got? We have got 22 infantry, 10 cannon. Now it's kind of interesting, now we've got more technologically advanced, there's more than one way you can do this. Ideally you never want artillery on the front row, so you're a lot safer if you have multiple contacts, if you have maybe twice as much infantry. You certainly want at least as much infantry as artillery, but we could definitely afford a few more artillery. At this point I might actually do 5 per army. So that's probably a little bit much, but I'm not sure how much we're actually going to need to fight, because Great Britain looks in a really bad way. Looks like they're just overcoming this rebellion. But I'm honestly wondering if we could manage with just this one army. So, certainly not particularly worried. Papal State, yeah, I don't really mind. Okay. Right, so while we're not quite ready to go across, I might just see if I can get our army somewhere nearby. Maybe there. Start building a spy network in Austria. Just thinking ahead. Oh, encroachment of the nobility. I'm going to demand they return it. Because we happen to be nearby. I definitely want to invest in the naval force. The annoying thing is it means it's going to make our ships cost more. probably isn't a huge amount we can do about it. So maybe I'll hold off on the Navy for now. Okay. Okay, more Holy Roman Empire stuff. Not really worried about the Holy Roman Empire anymore. Still moderately dangerous, but I don't know. I'm not entirely convinced that we couldn't take them on if we had to. I know it looked kind of intimidating, but you got to remember all of these lands, I think, belong to us. So they're reducing their authority. We'll see. Might be worth improving relations with Bohemia if we haven't done already. Anyway. Right, we should consider some ships. We've got 20. Our armies are now 41, so in order to do it in 2 lots, we would at least need 1 extra ship. Hold that thought. Got a castle there, so we should be okay anyway. No problem. Okay, and hopefully that'll actually stop there being any more rebellions for a bit. Not that I'm planning to move that army anyway. I think they're going to be a permanent African feature now. So, should be fine. Excellent. Let's just spin on a little. Colonial's gone to war, that's fine. We're going to need to split this army again. Might be willing to actually stay in Benin now though, now the first uprising's happened. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, sorry. I knew I was down there for a reason. I wanted to check where we were with Ndongo. Okay, so we've guaranteed them, we've got an alliance, we've improved relations as much as we can, we've got military access. What we haven't done is any monetary stuff, but that would only increase things by 40 and we need 190 to vassalise them. So we cannot vassalise them without some outside occurrence improving their opinion of us, which is fine for now. So like one of the things you would get with one of the DLCs is you could be considered a great power and you could actually influence them as great power, and that would make all the difference here. But there are some events that can also increase it. So, not too worried. Let's check the finances, they are still fine, that's good. Need to keep an eye on it as we make the army bigger. Also going to build a couple of military ships because our navy is rubbish. I know it said it was going to cost more, but I'm just going to have to lump it, I think. I think that event we had with supremacy of the navy only really happened because we don't have enough ships. So even though they cost more, I don't think the best risk. Right, let's just pause that because our diplomat's been discovered. I don't think the best response is necessarily to not build ships just because they're more expensive. Can we make a claim? No, we can't. So let's just start time again. So I'm just going to leave. Oh, excellent. So we will actually want to make these into cores. Penning, that's fine. It's nice we can get them all together. So yeah, just going to leave us by there anyway. As we do with Great Britain, it's now gaining again. I'm expecting to lose our remaining claims. It should make things cheaper, but we'll see. We have an option for yearly army tradition would be good, but how is our military tech doing? 19 versus 18, right, so we can't afford to take this. We need to hold out for the next technology before we can invade. Can't be helped. Right, so having mentioned it, I'm going to improve relations with Bohemia, just in case we need them. And then we should actually have a period of stability in which we can safely move our armies across. Might not hold on too much longer on attacking Great Britain, even if we don't have the claims we'd like, because they still have colonial possessions which we can demand. They've got British Columbia, and more importantly, they've got Argentina. So, yeah, not having claims on the island of Britain itself is not necessarily an issue. Crossing the English Channel is almost fast enough that we can have it on the lower speed. I need to find somewhere for this army to stand. I suppose down might be ideal. Actually, there's a few places, aren't there? I suppose the advantage here is that we've got a cut-off army that we could probably completely eliminate. And I think each of these armies is probably powerful enough on its own. I don't think I even need to keep them in partnership like I normally do. Right, let's spin on. Okay, so we either get some money, which would be nice, or we spend generously and get prestige. Well, prestige is not huge, so let's do that. New colony. Excellent. We've lost claims on Freiburg and Coventry, so that's nearly all of our claims on Great Britain. Oh, brilliant, yeah. So we wanted this one to finish, so we could pull our army out. And with that, this army is going to start heading west. We do have some natives here, of course. Lost a general. Right, okay. This is where the army tradition might be handy, because I'm fairly sure that makes generals better. But can't be helped. We must be on a par with Great Britain. Okay, how much money have we got? 25. So we don't really have enough to have all +3 advisors, especially because we need to make the army bigger. So I might do diplomatic reputation, because that is a pretty good special ability, even though it's just a +1. I think that's diplomacy screen. Sort of kept track of somewhere around here. Is it mentioned? Or have I gone completely mad? Is it in a completely different place? You'd think diplomatic reputation would be... Oh, I know what the problem is. We're on Bohemia's diplomacy screen, not ours. Right click on France. We are here. There we go. So we're on +3 now. And it's just useful for absolutely everything. It's what everyone thinks of us, so it's always a good thing to have in an advisor if you can. So move you to Sussex. We still can't afford to use the Navy. Going to make a new general. Still not very good, but this will change as we improve our military ideas. Okay, so we've done everything except get the last military tech. Oh. Better pause. Okay, political exile from Austria. I would be happy to have him. Plus he's a skill-free military advisor. Please tell me the new king isn't a Catholic. Okay, we're fine. There's nothing too terrible. Protestant. Good. Right, that's fine. Okay, how old are you? I'm doing really badly today at seeing things. 28. Brilliant. That should give us a bit of stability for a bit. So I would like to raise that while it's quite low. For stability and expansion, just give it a boost. It doesn't cost too much to raise it by 1. And let's consider this advisor. So we've got morale of armies. There's also discipline, which is better. Land force limit modifier I do not like, but at the same time they're cheaper. We can afford them and they're +3. And I don't think Great Britain's going to be much of an opponent unless I hang around so long that they end up with Castile as an ally. So let's not do that. Right, so we should have 2 claims now, 1 old one and 1 new one. Which probably means we need 30 in order to make the next. Yep, let's take them all in. We don't care about what Austria thinks of us. Louis XIV. Okay, so Spain likes us, Florida likes us. It's been unfortunate, but we don't have any choice. And we've also gained a master recruiter, which I have to say is more useful. But having just paid for the new advisor, I'm not really inclined to pay for another one just yet. So let's not worry about that. Let's fabricate a claim on Somerset and fill in it from the south. I just feel like I want to set Cornwall and Wales free, but probably shouldn't really. Certainly not Cornwall, because they're only going to be 1 province, so apologies to any Cornish people watching. Still. Okay, got another. Colonialism against Spain, which is fine. Making full use of Defender of the Faith. Gain the military tech. Gained naval tech, which makes me think we should have waited to make those heavy ships. Never mind. We need more anyway. We're changing our industry to Highlanders, which don't seem appropriate. Gustavian. That's German. Spanish square, probably closer to us really. And we've lost Hull. Excellent. Alright, so we've now got 2 claims. So it's how many more we want to make in Great Britain itself. Do need our morale to recover anyway. I suppose maybe we'll just go for 1 final claim. So let's improve relations with Scotland. And that will be it then. Move here. I know I said I didn't need them in partnership, but what the hell, we may as well just go ahead. Okay, who's this? Denouncing our policies. I can probably afford the prestige hit. We are about to attack Great Britain. Rather not cut advisors' heads off if we can avoid it. Colony is made, excellent. So we can... having to pause a lot this time. I don't want to get too sidetracked on what I'm doing. Right, so we can move them there, and then Where's this wonderful uprising? Which I am not immediately seeing. Might explain why we didn't get a warning. Maybe they're actually in one of the colonies, in which case the colonies should be able to deal with them. Okay, Antilles, fairly sure Antilles has already been taxed once. Yep, they're 16, so we'll leave it be. But we still gain a few things. Right, so basically we need this to get to 30, I believe, to make a final claim, which I'll probably do on Gloucester. Maybe Hull. Simply because Hull will give us access to a couple of other places. Maybe start heading north a bit as well. Okay, completed the estate agenda. That's another manufactory, which is good. I've got those 2 ships, which are sadly out of date before they were even built. Absolute rulership. Okay, that's good. Converted heretics. Not complaining. Probably build another manufactory. So, might do one there. Monetary reforms, so we'll lose stability, but we'll also lose inflation. Let's do that. At which point, oh, I can't boost stability. We just used a load of admin power. Never mind, we'll boost it first chance we get. I kind of think it costs more the higher it is, so I kind of think when it's on +0, it's worth it to boost it to +1. If it's ever below 0, you should always boost it immediately. And of course our spy has been discovered again, and of course we presumably still can't make any claims. No, we can't. I'll just leave them there. It's fine. It's fine. We're not going for Austria anytime soon. That's there. I'm going to say that. We're going to have another monarch dying then. Okay, cool. Right, so last claim on Great Britain. That can be Hull. We can pull our spy out of there. And assuming they haven't picked up any exciting new allies. Well, they got Brazil. We'll see. I'll pull them the Dongo in. Scotland isn't willing to join in. Thanks, Scotland. But never mind. So I'm going to assume that our various colonies and such like can handle everything that isn't on this island. Obviously we've got Genoa and Provence as vassals. They're quite powerful. Oh, that's a point. Technically, we do have our armies here. It's hard to imagine. It's fine. I see we've lost that thing. Yeah, it's a little hard to imagine that Great Britain's going to land anything too heavy down here. We'll see. But that's one reason why I was up for pulling the Dongo in. Plus it might improve our relationship with them. I think that's more if we help them in a war, but we'll see. It might improve just because we fought together. But yeah, apart from that, I think we're going to struggle down here, especially with Brazil joining in. Assuming they actually did join in. Yep, they did. But hopefully our colonies will be up to the task. They are bigger than they were. And of course, Great Britain also has to deal with the fact that we are stomping all over their home territory. So, in some ways, what happens in the colonies isn't going to matter. As the chances are they will give in anyway. Especially once we take the capital province of Lancashire. Good to see it's still the capital. Ah yeah, this is where we emptied the colonies. I think I'm going to have to ignore a whole bunch of these alerts because they just don't mean anything. Not seeing anything very threatening in army terms. So yeah, it's probably just a matter of time, basically. I grant you Brazil is quite big, but I don't think they're that powerful. Would have been nice in some ways if Scotland then joined in. I can't really blame them for not doing, because we don't tend to give them anything. I'd imagine what will happen as Great Britain becomes weaker and weaker is that Scotland will start invading them themselves, taking back the land they'd lost. Which is always kind of funny. Well, it's funny when you're France. Okay, so we are seriously gaining a lot of colonists here, so maybe if we build 2 here, even though we've only got 1 colonial army, can at least make some progress in California. And make a state. Just temporarily. Yeah, it should be fine. Just need this castle to fall. Yeah, despite the good general, they've still only managed to raise 30k, so... not too worried. Basically done for. Siege of Montgomery. So we should just keep an eye on the France itself. Nothing major though. Yeah, no big deal. Might want both armies nearby for when we actually take the capital, because that will probably be a very good castle. I think it always is when it's the capital. It's like a level 4 even before they're invented. Could be wrong. But yeah, if there's ever a chance they'll be able to beat us, it's going to be at that point. Having said that, it looks like they're coming down, at least. Oh, yeah. Might ignore them. Maybe we'll chase them. It's a bit annoying having an army running wild down there, but... oh no, they are definitely backing themselves into a corner. Excellent. Okay guys, you'd better move out of Cornwall, because there's nowhere to run from there. Not somewhere you want to get caught. Oh. And a peace offer from someone? Galera? Yeah, no problem. Okay, in theory that should have completely wiped them out. So I'm mildly annoyed that it apparently didn't. Let's just grab one of these armies if it'll let me. Send it to Chester instead. Tiny power than ability. Can't say I care. Try and improve relations with someone, anyone. Provence will do. very low morale there, and they're already heading back in. I think all things considered, I'm just going to get them. The little padlock appeared, so they're definitely coming here. If they're going to go back into the fray with low morale, they're kind of asking for it. I don't really want to be chasing him down into Cornwall again. Let's get this done with. I'm guessing we can now call Scotland. Oh no, we can call Ottomans in. I don't want to call Ottomans in though. Not for this. That's definitely one for when we're fighting Spain or someone. In theory, they should be quite limited now we've actually taken the castle. I'm slightly questioning how they were able to even move down there, to be honest. But never mind. Just slowed it. Why on earth are they running that way? That's realising we can actually get. They run south, I'm going to follow them. Okay, north I can accept. Honestly quite annoying the way they keep running faster just as we're about to actually take a piece of land. I might just finish getting Coventry and then pursue them. Okay, I said Coventry, I meant Cheshire. Holding out pretty well, all things considered. Yeah, I won't stop there. That's a very piece of land I've been trying to take for ages. And they're finally gone. Finally. Okay, great. Great, all good. On the plus side, we would have had to wait for this castle to fall anyway, so not too big a deal really. Not sure if we can actually go through Scotland, although I've no doubt they'll let us if we ask them. And I'm not very happy with that we've only got 26% war score. So what's happening in the colonies? Well, they haven't secretly conquered France. The Milan has caused an uprising. Although it's not very obvious. Haven't taken much of Africa, but neither have we. Don't feel like Brazil's doing very much. Okay, can we go through here? We can. Brilliant. Well, yeah, to be fair, it does kind of look like we're losing in the colonies. And try and send some gifts, I suppose. See if it'll help. Only in theory we could just cut our losses. Actually, let's see if these guys will actually cross into Ireland, because I would have expected a ship to stop them. See if there's one coming down now. Although they don't look that powerful. So really the British Navy isn't as much to be scared of as it once was. Just thinking if we can take Ireland as well, then why not? You know, I think I might just move the ships back. Hard for them to cross over. Okay, manufactories. Any chance we've started it? We have not. That's upsetting. Okay. Can't be helped. So what we've got here, haven't done as well as I would have liked, but basically everywhere that had a manufactory has automatically gained this. So we should probably, honestly, have been building one here as well. Start one in Devon, and when we can, maybe start one of these places. Obsessed with the idea that we're ignoring the Navy. Let's just speed this up. Apparently we've lost a siege. That is very disappointing. Kind of surprising, to be honest. Fine. Fine. Maybe we should bring an army back down. Since they're obviously not needed up here. And it doesn't look like the waters are as scary as they used to be. I'm going to go production again. Are we about to be attacked by a navy? We are about to be attacked by a navy. Okay. Suddenly, I'm starting to think, thanks to the Pope, maybe we should consider actually bringing this to a close and seeing what we can get. So what might they give us? Cornwall, Somerset and Hull, which is fine, but they're not willing to give us anything else. That's a little disappointing. Conceding Colombia, no. Let's see Caribbean, no. See Caribbean again. That gives us very little. Partly down to Brazil. Yeah, they've actually got some decent allies. I didn't think they did. They seem less phased by losing their home counties than I thought they would be. Fair enough. Okay. Not what we wanted at all, but gonna have to do. Onward to Spain. Right, so I'm gonna want someone back in London for the inevitable uprisings. We're also going to need to get an army across here. So yeah, that was actually a bit lackluster really. Never mind. And we've suddenly got a whole bunch of... No, we haven't suddenly got a whole bunch of cores. We just need to core those three. Cornwall, Hull, and... Was it? Oh, Cornwall, obviously. No, we've done Cornwall. Somerset. Which we're already making a core... No, we're not. We just can't afford to. Fine. Oh no, we're not. It's not. We can't afford to. We've got a missionary there. Right. Okay. No big problem. Yeah. All fine. All fine. Spin on all stuff. We also gained some money, which is good. So let's build a manufactory. What would it take to be able to build one in London? I'm assuming we would need, sorry, left click on London, on the actual province. We need 40, aren't we? Unless we get rid of a building. Barracks, church, workshop, marketplace, shipyard and castle. I would really like to get rid of them. But I'm not really sure I want to spend points on them either. And destroy the shipyard. We have enough ships. Okay. So build a manufactory in London as well. So even though Manufactories has already arisen, it's still worth us building some for now. For one thing, because we've got this mission, so we could, I mean, this is going to be much more valuable to do it now anyway, and we want to do it at some point, so we should really get a move on with it. And also because the institution will spawn in every province with a manufactory, so even though it'll take a while to build them, it will probably still make a difference, which is fine. Who did get manufactories? Maybe it was someone outside of Europe, which would be kind of nice. Doesn't really matter. In fact, they'll say, won't it? Nuremberg. No, definitely not outside of Europe. Fair enough. I'm just surprised Paris and London haven't had anything yet. Anyway, it's time to do a whole pile of shipbuilding. So... in theory, this is our main navy. Yes, we will support them. A little confused that they've got a light ship. But it happens. I'm going to leave it there. Colonies getting into wars. And we also built some trade ships. So let's get them moving. But yeah, we could really do with making some transports, because otherwise it's going to take forever to get our army across. And we are going to need them. So even though we really need to be building manufactories, I'm quite happy that we've got one in London. Oh no, we haven't got one in London. Fair enough, we need to build a London one. No, we're building one in London. We are. So we're fine. And we've got one somewhere around here, so it's not too bad. For the institution, it's not too bad. Okay, so these are our light ships, so this is going to be another trade fleet. Caribbean is still the obvious one, although there's also the Ivory Coast. Lubeck. I haven't done Lubeck yet, and that's not a bad improvement. Okay, cool. Can we do Somerset? No, we cannot. We need... oh, it's the missionary, isn't it? It's ridiculous. How long is it going to take him? Too long. Let's cancel. Just send him somewhere else. Really, coring the province is more important than converting it. Okay, right. Let's start with this ridiculous a long-winded process, because I don't think this is going to happen fast. We're going to need to transfer the army from the Colonial army, rather, from Africa over to California. So in fact, let's just look at that. We should in theory have a Colonial ship somewhere, though they're probably the ones doing the exploring, aren't they? Which they need to carry on doing. Right, so we'll use the main navy for the ship transference. They've lost their explorer. No, they haven't. He just clicked on the wrong icon. You guys head over there for now. Looks like Australia has already been discovered. Can't see a huge Spanish presence there though. Looks like they're more interested in these islands, which we're also interested in. But I would like to get Colonial Australia on the go. Okay, cool, so we want to get an army to here. It's all going to be about this navy. The question now really is, are we big enough to fight Spain? I mean, I know we did defeat them before, but we did have all of our allies at the time. Main thing to check is probably the tech level first. 19. So we're on a par. We have claims, we have plenty of colonies to worry about as well. Although less than you'd probably think. Interestingly. I would still like to conquer these two countries. I know we've lost our claims now. But at the same time, I'm considering attacking Brazil at some point, so we'll see. Speaking of, let's make some claims on Austria. Apparently there's only 2 claims we can make, oddly. Possibly because we already have some. We might even have some permanent ones. So if we do that, we can stop building our spy network. Put down a Protestant rebellion. And we should improve relations with our various vassals. These are actually Protestant zealots. I probably shouldn't have attacked them, to be honest. I suppose we're supporting our vassal. Fair enough. Not too worried. Right, subjects is what I should have said. So our subjects that like us least are Louisiana, Antilles, and Colombia. Okay, cool. Right, not too much more to do for this one. Are you fully repaired? You're nearly fully repaired. Now you're fully repaired. Excellent. Right, and this colonial army to go all the way to the west coast. Is that even going to work? Can I drop you off in Louisiana and just have you walk? Feels a bit mean, but you know. It's a hell of a long way around with the Panama Canal not being built yet. So, mean or not, it does kind of make sense. Definitely going to have to do something about this. Okay, let's just get this all finished and then we'll call it a day. Give him the Conquistador, because I'll probably need it, to be honest. Going to have a fair few fights. Actually, this one kind of is for colonies anyway, isn't it? So it's actually more or less in the right place. Oh no, it isn't. This is on main navy. Sorry, forget me. I need to rename these. New ships for them. It's only really long I don't know French for navy. I'll just use navy. So this will be Atlantic. And the other one will become the Pacific. And instead of having one navy and one thing just for transporting colonial armies, we will actually have two proper navies. Okay, hull. Right, so we want to actually call hull, which is fine. Definitely spare no expense. We can afford it. Manufacturers has appeared in Paris. That is good. So that basically means that it's finished building, which is partly down to how well developed Paris is. But it's now obviously spreading to all the neighbouring provinces. I'm hoping we'll actually do quite well with manufacturers because we had built a few. Having said that, it looks like everyone else had managed to build more somehow, at least in Europe. But what can you do? So speaking of that, we will build another one. Need to keep building because it's got 20. We will not build another one. We apparently don't yet have the money. Okay. Ah. Okay, I messed up. Sent a ship out to explore and forgot about it. One should never ever do that. That's embarrassing. Right. That's very embarrassing. Never mind. Right, so in that case, I don't know if we can build ships over there until the colony's finished. So we are going to need some more ships, which is fine. So let's build, assuming we're going to lose everything, I'm going to build 6 merchantmen, 6 transports basically, and then a war galleon. So at least we will have them when we're next paying attention. Might hold out for the next tech rather than taking this for now. I'm going to go for their interests or ours, even though it costs us mercantilism. Yeah, I think that's the last one. So yeah, never do that. Never send ships to explore uncharted waters and then forget they're there. Oh, Provence have embraced it. So it's often easier and quicker to embrace an institution when you're a smaller country, but because we're on very good relations with them, it should mean that they'll start to spread into our provinces faster wherever we have a border. So that should also be good for us. So yeah, last thing to check is, did this army reach Shumash? They're just about there. That's good. So we're going to get a foothold up here next time, for which we'll need that navy that's just been destroyed. We're going to carry on We almost don't need to explore west now, but we are going to carry on exploring west. Just to fill in this blank and find New Zealand. And start colonising that way. Once this one's finished. Ah, this is where that other +3 organiser army person comes in. Well, so we've got another cheap one that's National Manpower Modifier. There we go, all good. And we're going to gear up for potentially invading Spain. Crete, the Knights, Naples and Siena. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, the Ottomans could help. It's whether we want to save them for Austria. But then Spain is reasonably formidable, and just dealing with Naples would be a plus, so maybe we should bring the Ottomans in on that one. So yeah, that's about it, I think. Yeah, it's military tech, isn't it? So we definitely want that before our penalty gets too great for the institution. So yeah, that's brilliant. Went on a bit long there. I just wanted to kind of finish off the aftermath from the war. A little bit disappointed in what we gained from the war. Only 3 provinces. Although they're quite probably reasonably valuable ones, to be fair. I mean, you can have lovely holidays in Cornwall. Although, to be fair, you can in France as well, so... Maybe that's not quite as exciting as I'd hoped. But yeah, it looks like Brazil and the Papal States are more formidable than I was immediately thinking. So... I suppose we could have brought the Ottomans in on that one. And they would have at least dealt with the Papal State. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking that we might need to do something about Brazil. Is this all Spain? Oh no, thank goodness it isn't. It's Zimbabwe, they've just got a similar colour. Okay, that's good then. That is good. I should actually just check Ndongo, make sure they didn't get a plus for having been in a fight. They have had a plus from being in a fight. We really need to work on that. We really do. Okay, so next time anyway, we may be able to vassalise Ndongo, which would be great. But we will leave it for then. So, yeah, I mean, it was successful. I'm not crazy about what we achieved with Great Britain there, but at least we won and we gained something, so it's something. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.